Joining us on the phone is the Director of Communications of the New Patriotic Party. I'm talking about the man, Richard Ahiagbah. Richard, good morning. Good morning, Richard. How are you?
Morning, Moro. Managing to be fine.
Hello, Richard.
Moro, can you hear me? Hello,
Hello,
Moro.
Richard. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Moro. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, Richard. I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have found it necessary to issue a statement in solidarity with the rest of Ghanaians who are mourning our departed souls, 8 gallant, strong, patriotic citizens of this country. What is in that statement that you would want Ghanaians to know for persons who've not seen it or heard about it?
Moro, good morning to you, to my fellow patriot in the studio and my brother computer, to your good self and your team. I think it's true for you as it is for me that this morning we're all trying to put on a brave face. There's been a lot of questions. What could have been? What if things were different? What if that program didn't happen at all? What could we have done so that these good citizens of ours who were busy about the business of the state to be with us this morning? It's a lot of questions, a lot of pain. I've had a lot of people call me throughout the night and even this morning, wondering why this at this time. But I suppose that it's a question that we all have to embrace. And what I've been saying to myself and to those who call me is that only God knows the reason why this happened at this time. And so for us in the New Patriotic Party, we sympathize, empathize sincerely with the families of our lost brothers, all of them. One can only imagine the extent of devastation they are having to endure. And it cannot possibly be replaced for them, especially the manner in which it happened. Some of them may have not said goodbye properly, and I know probably will be in the case of all of them. And so we in the New Patriotic Party understand the full gravity of the loss for the immediate families and for the entire population of our country. The government is not anything that one can prepare for. So we sympathize and have committed to stand with the government to go through the process of giving our brothers befitting send-off, which we're all not prepared for, but has to happen because it has happened. And then the point in our statement, which ought to be emphasized, is the call that a thorough investigation is undertaken to ascertain what went wrong, such that we can prevent it, such that it would never recur ever again. This will be a sad incident that has happened once and will never happen again. And so you've also seen, still coming from the New Patriotic Party, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who has also issued a statement of commiseration and strength to the family. His Excellency John Agyekum Kufuor, on his part, also issued a statement, which then goes to suggest that the entire New Patriotic Party family stands with the families of our departed brothers, and also with the government in going through the processes. I've maintained that these individuals now transcend political colors, and so I'm intentionally not mentioning the NDC, but they too have lost. But I think that they are now assets and lost to Ghana much more than to any political party. That's why intentionally I'm not mentioning the National Democratic Congress, but they too have lost, and we stand with them and with all Ghanaians in mourning this our lost brothers.
You say something in your statement which I would say is very edifying and very unifying and very, very nationalistic. You say, in this time of grief, we call on all Ghanaians to come together in unity, prayer, and compassion. Let us stand with the families left behind. Let us console and strengthen one another. And then, of course, you end by saying, may the souls of these 8 heroes rest in perfect peace until the last day of resurrection when we shall meet again. And I'm talking about the statement which was signed by your General Secretary. Unfortunately, we live in a society where we do politics from dusk to dawn. And we've seen situations where it looks like the politics have set in very early, where people are actually even, putting out all kinds of conspiracy theories and politicizing it simpliciter. Would you be kind enough to add your voice of advice to persons who are engaged in this kind of unfortunate exercise? Please do.
Oh, I'm happy you read the statement from the New Patriotic Party, which then is pointing in a certain direction of unity, de-escalating the politics, that we will have plenty of time to do much later when we have processed these grave loss as a country and have figured out exactly what has happened and taken proper steps to ensure that nobody who is committed himself to serve the state has this faith or have this faith befall them in the future. Once we've done those, there'll be plenty of time to do politics. And so right now is not the time. This moment is not the time to be engaged in partisan posturing. And I would respectfully, in the spirit of the letter issued by the New Patriotic Party, that all on our side must look at the national interest, must take steps to ensure that our do's and don'ts reflect a national mood of mourning and focus on that, because this could have happened to anybody. When in government also, a similar incident happened, except nobody passed away. I recall vividly in 2020, a similar thing happened to do with a helicopter, I think, but nobody, we didn't lose any lives. I think there's another one also that happened also somewhere around the Tamale or Northern Region area there. I remember faintly. So these are incidents that could happen to anybody. It doesn't matter who is in power, whether it's NPP or NPC. And that's why I am restraining myself to make it a partisan political matter. Yeah. And so it's a national issue, because as we all aspire to serve the interest of the states, the individuals that yesterday, our minister, our 2 ministers, and party vice chairman, the private, or I think now I understand that potential Director General of NADMO, and then the other individual involved. I mean, these were people who are engaged in a certain national assignment, who were not there or were not billed to be there, but they were going there on our behalf. So they're doing our job. And so this is not a time for us to divide or find ways to divide ourselves along political lines. It's time for us to come together, support each other, stand together so we can weather this very dark storm that is befalling us as a people. So now, this is not a time for politics. There'll be time for politics much later when we understand what happened for us to lose these citizens of ours who were busy about the work of the state.
Now, on a very personal level, Richard, now you've spoken for the party, but on a very personal level, I know that's not what we called. We called you as the director of communications of the New Patriotic Party, but bear us out on this one. You know, these things happen sometimes. Which of the individuals here, or these gallant soldiers we're talking about, would you say perhaps is a very personal friend, and you may want to share, you know, some interesting encounters with them, you know, how you became friends with them, fond memories of them? That is, if any of them, you would say, were your, you know, what do you call buddy, very good friends that you'd want to, you have a story that you want to share with us very briefly.
Yeah, Moro, I think the two individuals, the two ministers, I think I'll start with Dr. Omaniboma.
Okay.
I don't have any memories of him at your current studio, but at your cantonment studios, I think that we've met there several times.
Okay.
And I think that he's a human being, one that you want to know, one that you want to have as a friend, even though across the aisle, he never made it appear that way. I recall one program after we had engaged on Good Morning Ghana, myself and himself, Dr. Ahiagbah, spent more than hours. You know, usually after programs, I'll wait and talk to Dr. Brandy and, you know, discussing the matters long after, you know, Good Morning Ghana. So on these occasions at the other studio, would wait and talk, and it would veer into, you know, life matters, advice, and he always has something profound to say, Dr. Manibama, I mean, something in the nature of guiding and counseling, and has nuggets of things to say. And I recall in one of those encounters, Dr. Randy was referring to him as a gentleman's gentleman, that he's a thorough guy, that he told me about an instance where Dr. Randy was checked by him, and he always deferred or take advice from him. So he's an individual who, beyond politics, is a good friend you would want to have. It's unfortunate that I didn't nurture that relation with him much, you know, beyond just talking and engaging after programs. But I can tell you, my encounters with him, I have really fond memories, and I see him as a friend or someone. If I had challenge, I could talk to. And he's a stabilizing force. In fact, his appointment to the Ministry of Defense for me was one that I knew he was going to excel. And now that he's gone, I think that what ought to be, we can only hope that whoever replaces him can give Ghana the effect that he was going to have on our military. I think that is a massive loss. On Dr. Alhaji Murtala Mohammed Ibrahim, I think that I don't know. You know, he's my senior. I think I have never mentioned this anyway. He's my senior at the Political Science Department, University of Ghana. I think that the last chat I had with him was about dissertation and what his dissertation was, and we're going back and forth about some theories and that. He is a very passionate debater, sometimes almost getting under your skin, but after the program, you see him as a man full of heart. He's playful, he enjoys life. I recall when, after he lost Nantong and was angling for Tamale Central, he was present in political discussions and was very, very focused. And I wasn't surprised when he won Tamale Central, the primaries, and then eventually became the MP. He's done well. He served his party in the 8 years that the NDC was in opposition, combating us to come back to power. He's paid his due. This is a time that I suppose that he was going to show what he is made of. Earlier on, as a deputy minister, when President Mahama was in office the first time, this is a time he's become a substantive minister. He's labored. I know a bit about his PhD journey. He's labored to have gone through the hard work of PhD work project, and now that he's been honored with a PhD, he's gone. I think that I will never forget the moments I've had with him and with Dr. Ahiagbah. I just hope that this was not true, but somehow it is. And as human beings, we have to process this and find some way to continue life without them.
Okay. All right, Richard. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Moro. And my regards to all in the studio, especially Computer, who I know is visibly shaken and must be rightly so by the loss of all of them, but most especially Dr. Ahiagbah, who was his boss, who he worked with, and who I know he's going to miss. I wish him every strength, as much as I wish the families, the immediate families of our brothers. Okay. Thank you, Moro.